Greetings. Welcome to our workshop Wednesday with Mentor Me Collective. We're thrilled to continue our May theme, Tech Your Wellness, where we explore how technology can support our mental health and physical well being. As you're settling in, please drop a light bulb emoji in the chat to let us know you're here and ready to illuminate your understanding of tech and wellness. For those of you who are new to Mentor Me Collective, we're a community dedicated to empowering individuals, especially first generation techies, with the knowledge, skills, and tools they need to succeed in their tech careers, while also prioritizing their overall well being. My name is Lauren, and I'm delighted to be your host for today's insightful workshop. Today, we're diving into navigating the digital world for physical health, mental and physical health. We'll be exploring practical strategies to use technology in ways that enhance rather than detract from our overall wellness. Whether you're constantly online for work or personal life, this workshop will provide valuable insights into setting healthy boundaries and finding balance in our age. Now, let me introduce our fantastic speaker, Adrian Pignon. Adrian is a social media analyst at the California Department of Health Care Services. His work involves understanding the impact of digital platforms, and he brings a wealth of knowledge on navigating the digital world thoughtfully. I'll go ahead and bring him up right now. Welcome, Adrian.
Oh, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you may be located, Lauren. It's an honor.
Adrian, before we dive into the workshop, let's break the ice with a question. If your if your approach to well-being, digital wellness was a type of self-care activity, what would it be and why?
Oh, so we're going to get into this a little bit on this deck here, but I'm definitely going to say taking a nap. We don't do that enough, and I think it's super important.
I love that. Yeah, napping is definitely one of my favorite activities as well. I definitely feel you, especially when it rains.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Alrighty. Now let's turn it to the chat. Um, let's hear from you. What's one way you found to use technology to support your well-being? For those who are listening in, make sure you share it in our chat. Awesome. Alrighty. All right, Adrian, let's get started. Please share your insights and let's explore how we can all navigate this digital world for better mental and physical health.
Yeah, absolutely.
Adrian,
Let
over
me,
to you.
yeah, I think, here, let's see. How can I present my deck here? Um, Oh, there it is. Awesome. Thanks, Lauren. All right. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everybody. It's an honor, it's a privilege to be here, especially during Mental Health Awareness Month. Oh man, it's an honor. So today's session is about strategies for tech-enabled well-being. Tech your wellness. I am Adrian, and here's just a quick bio about me. Lauren mentioned that Mentor Me Collective is a group of first gen folks and others. I am proud to say that I'm a first gen trailblazer. So I'm the first in my family to graduate from college, graduated on the Dean's Honor Roll. I'm the first in my family to pursue a career in marketing outside of construction work, and that's something that I'm super proud of. I'm also a social media professional. I've worked in social media for over 5 years. And even before then, I was just an avid content creator before the word content creator was a thing. And I'm also a scrappy entrepreneur. So I am a first gen American, and I had to find ways of just doing what I love and making a buck. And that's taught me to become an entrepreneur. So I have founded two startups. The first was a mobile lab startup that basically was an event promotion platform that was an algorithm that aggregated a bunch of events from open source, and it went great. Like it went great before COVID, but yeah, we had to change plans. And currently, I am the founder of Planet Mezcal. It's essentially a mezcal and agave digital blog where I share small mezcal brands from Mexico and educate people on agave plants. And lastly, I am a mental health advocate. I do the best that I can to promote mental health because, like we'll talk about in a little bit, opening up my feelings and my emotions was just not possible. So I definitely want to be an advocate for people that are going through mental health. And a lot of us, as you'll see, are going through mental health challenges. So thank you all for being here. Quick, selfless, shameless plug. Be sure to add me on LinkedIn. It's Adrian Pignon. All right, so the slides are a little wonky here, but the first topic is breaking the stigma. So we'll talk about breaking the stigma on mental health. Number two, we'll talk about understanding anxiety and burnout. And number three, we're going to talk about ways to cope, how to cope with your mental health issues. Number four, we're going to talk about social media. So I am in social media. I work in social media. I love that stuff, but it is a double-edged sword, and we're going to talk about what that is. And lastly is building resilience. Like, how can you overcome this? How can you move ahead? How can you live with these challenges? So we're going to start off with a quote from Michelle Obama. She said this wonderfully, and I had to add this. She said, it's time to tell everyone who's dealing with a mental health issue that they're not alone, and that getting support isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. I want you guys to keep that in mind. Asking for help is not you being weak. You're communicating, you're standing up for yourself and your own well-being. And I applaud you for that. So that was a great way to kick it off. But a lot of you people might be asking yourselves, what is mental health? Is it worth talking about it? Should I care about it? Is it even worth my time and effort? Like, maybe I'm too busy for mental health. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too cool for it. Maybe I'm just, I got my 9 to 5, like I'm a college student. Like, maybe it's just a thing. Or is it even for me? Like, am I immune to it? Right? Like I'm a tough guy, right? Like, am I immune to this stuff? Well, you'll be surprised. The first topic is breaking the stigma. So why mental health matters, and why I came to terms with my mental health and how I realized the importance of managing it. A quick stat for you guys is that 1 in 5 US adults are experiencing mental health issues. That's a lot. 1 in 5, guys. So we got a few viewers here. I'm sure some of you are going through mental health issues, and like, you might not know it, but like your partner or your loved one might actually be experiencing it, and you might not even know it. But the cool thing is that 46% of the mental health issues that they're going through are self-diagnosable. No over-the-counter meds needed. So I will be going through 3 phases of my life to help really put this mental health into perspective. So like I mentioned, I am a first-gen American. I grew up in a traditional Chicano household where Spanish was the prominent language spoken. And as you can imagine, the macho man household was very, very, very prominent. And I couldn't really express myself to friends or family, let alone my parents. And I needed to channel that somewhere. And unfortunately, I got into fights a lot in elementary school and middle school. And I finally kind of figured things out in high school. But unfortunately, me not being able to express myself really did spew out in school. And yeah, that was it was tough. But fast forward a little bit, I did later become a professional BMX street rider. What that means is you're riding a bicycle, you're grinding and doing tricks in the street, and it was my life, it was my passion, my first love. And I didn't know it back then, but actually, becoming a BMX rider was actually an outlet for me to cope with my mental health issues, although I was still getting into trouble. So I will say that. And then most recently, the photo isn't loading, but I'm holding up some really big checks. Okay, I won a pitch competition back in college, but after a bunch of wake up calls later, I refocused in school, and I focused on entrepreneurship, and that really helped with my mental health issues. And it was just a way for me to channel, not in a physical way, but in a more mental way of like, hey, maybe I can express myself uh, through presenting, through speaking, through focusing, through startups. And that was very, very successful. I promise you guys, this photo shows me holding a bunch of checks. All right, but in today, yeah, shout out to Lauren. She gave me a quick introduction. I am a social media analyst for the state of California, and I am the founder of Planet Mescal. But both of those come with their own challenges. So let's understand anxiety and burnout, which are honestly one of the two biggest mental health issues that I go through. So I thought I'd be biased and focus on those, and hopefully you guys can relate. So unfortunately, a lot of you might be able to relate because 66%, that's right, a whopping 66% of American employees are experiencing some sort of burnout. And that's in 2025, guys. So this is super relevant data. That's over half. And now here's an even scarier stat of people that report burnout. 81% of 18 to 24-year-olds are experiencing burnout. Now, this is my category here. 83% of 25 to 34-year-olds are experiencing burnout. So, guys, you're not alone. This is epidemic, and it's actually frightening if you think about it. Like, a lot of us are being pushed to our limits, and a lot of us are just pushing it under the rug. So, you guys, we're gonna talk about this until we figure this out. So, you're not alone, and it's true that being overworked equals burnout. I'll be the first to admit that I've experienced a lot of burnout, especially in social media, where things change every day. There's a new social media app, there's a new owner, there's a new hashtag, a new trend you got to pounce on. There's breaking news you have to share to people, and you have to be super sensitive in the content you share. So I'm living proof of burnout, guys. But in a previous job I had, there was one employee that stood out, and she completely changed my perspective. She said, you have to learn to say no. Tell your manager or tell your coworker that you're at capacity, and they are people too. And whenever I told my managers and employees and coworkers that I was at capacity, they respected that. So your first tip, I guess, is learn to say no. Take short mental breaks throughout the day, speak up, like I just mentioned, and prioritize rest to recharge your energy. Lauren mentioned what's a good hobby. Mine's was taking a nap. So there goes two tips. Take a nap and learn to say no. Unfortunately, this photo is also not loading for some reason, but I'm doing an extremely crazy trick that you shouldn't try at home. So I did experience burnout through attending a lot of events, a lot of competitions, and having a lot of sponsors. So I had over 6 sponsors that included clothing, headphones, bicycle parts, etc. And it was a lot. It was a lot of stress. I would have to go ride my bike each and every day, even through injuries. had to convince my friends to record me, but they had their own life. So it was very, very difficult to manage and juggle all that with a very, very low salary. It was ultimately what drove me out of the sport, was not being able to pay the bills, but also the amount of injuries and the pressure that came with it. But that was a slow burn, and I still ride my bike to this day, just not as competitive anymore. This one here, let's see. Okay, the pictures aren't working, but let's go back one slide. So in my entrepreneur life, the pressures of being perfect are slightly overwhelming. I don't know how many people here are entrepreneurs or have their own startups or want to pursue a startup, but the constant pain of having to be perfect and pitch and code switch during networking events, it's a lot, guys. And I totally understand it. Like sometimes I remember going to like these networking events or conferences and just going to the restroom and taking deep breaths because I was doing so much code switching. It was super overwhelming sometimes. But just understand that being an entrepreneur is very, very difficult. Take deep breaths, and yeah, it's tough. And today, oh, the picture works. Okay, so today I do for my daily job is I do produce content, and that means I'm writing social media scripts, but I'm also presenting data to stakeholders and internal team members, and I'm also appearing on camera for a lot of the content, also responding and doing the social media engagement. So it's a lot. It's a lot of stress. And the irony is, I love social media. Like when I'm not at work, I'm actually on social media. So I walk a dangerous line of like being burnt out, but then also using social media after work. So it's a very tightrope. A beautiful quote from Mother Teresa is, "Be happy in the moment. That's enough. Each moment is all we need, not more." All right. And our next topic is tools for coping, mindfulness. So Mother Teresa's quote was to basically be in the moment, and that's all that you need is to just understand that you are in the moment. But let's talk about what is coping. Coping is handling stress and tough emotions. Coping also means regulating your feelings. Coping also means adapting to life's big challenges. You got graduation coming up, you got interviews, you got a huge presentation at work, your startup needs some funding. It's a lot, but you have to learn to cope with it. Now, here's a pretty crazy stat. Only 22% of American adults report receiving any kind of treatment. So a lot of us, like I mentioned, just sweep it under the rug. And let us know in the comments, actually, have you swept your mental health issues under the rug and just kept chugging along? I'll be the first to admit that I do and have, actually. Throughout my BMX life, one thing that it just kind of helped me put things in perspective while I was still riding was to sit back and relax and really just understand the moment. I remember I was at a film competition in San Diego, and it was great. And it was the first time I'd ever been to San Diego by myself without my family. I was just there with friends shooting BMX videos, and it was awesome. It was great. It was one of the coolest times of my life, and that really helped me cope with the stress and the anxiety of having to be perfect on the bicycle. Next up is my entrepreneur life. I basically realized that entrepreneurs are people too. Now, while you do sometimes have to code switch, just understand that the person on the other end is a person. You be yourself. And honestly, I've gotten further in life being myself than trying to code switch and be a mold, like be molded to whatever they want it to be. So, my recommendation is be yourself through your entrepreneurship life, and you'll be true to yourself. And then today, so whether if it's my professional career or with my own startup, I approach marketing in a more organic approach. What that means in context is social media is famously known for being glitz and glamour and the pretty side of social media. But as of lately, I've been posting a lot of raw content, unedited. I don't even use hashtags anymore. I hardly even tag people. It's just me documenting my life. And honestly, that kind of content has gotten me more engagement than me really trying to be out there and be like this super hyper focused content creator. Like, I think being authentic is really underrated in social media. So uh, being truly yourself will probably get you further in life than if you're just trying to code switch. And honestly, it's helped me cope with my stress. So let's talk a little bit about social media. Social media is a double-edged sword. What that means is, on one side, it can offer community, visibility, influence, and actually, it can bother a little bit of. It can provide a little bit of peace of mind. I know I use social media sometimes just to unwind. I think we're all a victim of that, of just brain rot scrolling on TikTok late at night. But it's cool. And then, but on the other side, it can feed into anxiety, stress, burnout, and even cyberbullying, which can be super detrimental. Here's a quote that I absolutely love from Jenna Ortega. So she said that the important thing to remember is that social media isn't real, and so much of what is being advertised is not authentic or necessarily the best for your well being. So you have to take social media with a grain of salt. I'm telling you guys, this is this should be like on a Bible somewhere or something. And it's true. Social media should be taken like a grain of salt. There are a lot of keyboard warriors out there that want to ruin your day and make you look bad and change your persona. But I'm telling you guys, take it like a grain of salt. Now, why is that important? 71% of people use social media to escape real life problems. I mentioned earlier that sometimes I'm actually doom scrolling on TikTok late at night, and that's just to, unwind. And a lot of us do that as well to escape from real life problems. But that in itself is super, super dangerous because we ourselves become victims to potential harm. But what kind of harm is that? 26.5% of American teenagers, these aren't even adults, these are kids. American teenagers have experienced cyberbullying within the last 30 days. I'll say that again. More than a quarter of American teens are experiencing cyberbullying in the last month. That's not even like the last year. Like, that's the last month. And that should be frightening for any parents or even any teenagers watching like that. And I'm sure a lot of adults can contest to being cyberbullied. 60% of social media users say it negatively affects their self-esteem. And it's true. You can post the most positive content out there. You can post Bible verses, you can post self-healing content, you can talk so angelically, and you'll still get haters, you'll still get trolls. And a lot of people actually fall victim to that, and they become mentally stressed out. They get anxiety, they get scared, they don't want to post on social anymore, they get angry. So it's true. Social media is a double-edged sword, and be careful. And here are a few examples of some trolling and some bad stuff. So this individual sent me a DM. See, what's even scarier is these people actually send you direct messages now. Like, they won't even comment on you. Like, they'll direct message you, and it's shameless, really. But one of the comments this gentleman said at the top was, "Let's pray these brands aren't throwing money at you." And for context is, so for my startup, Planet Mescal, is I post content, educational content, to talk about mezcal and distilled agave spirits. And this individual, I guess, was offended by some content that I posted, and they decided to send me this DM. I responded with something super, super kind and just respectful, and they kept going, and I unfortunately had to block them. It's very unfortunate that that happened. And the one at the bottom is I also posted another video where I was talking about agaves, and this individual commented saying, "It's wild to brag about this, gringo." And for a lot of people that don't know Spanish or don't know what the word gringo means, it's sort of like a disrespectful word for a white person. But as some of you viewers can see, I'm far from white. I'm a proud Latino. So that was a little bothersome. So as you can see, my response was super respectful. I mentioned that that we value their feedback and their opinion, and to please communicate respectfully. And even then, after that, they still did not communicate respectfully. So I'm telling you guys, social media is a double-edged sword. Like I mentioned, you can post the most uplifting content, and evil will still seep through. So stay strong. You're not alone. Okay, so the next topic is building resilience, habits to a healthy mind. So how to take back your life. Here are some tips. I think I saw in the comments that somebody reads books. Let us know in the comments how you take control of your mental health. The first tip is to find hobbies. Hobbies really help you revitalize your mental health. Lauren mentioned, what's a hobby? I said napping, but I also like reading comic books. I love the artwork in them. I love the short stories. And when I read a short comic book, it makes me feel accomplished, like I read a book. Next up, turn off your notifications, guys. This stuff is bad for your mental health. For me, it gives me anxiety. I'm waiting for an email. I'm waiting for a text or a call from somebody. I'm attached to this thing. About a year ago, I turned off every notification. Like I don't get any pings or anything. And luckily, nothing has burned to the ground. But turn off your notifications. That's how you take control of your life. That's how you put an ease to your headaches and your anxiety and stress, is to turn off notifications, especially on vacation. And then lastly, intentionally unplug, at least for 30 minutes. Go for a walk, go for a hike, cut the grass, fix your yard, paint something, wash the dishes, make the bed, I don't know, do some chores, anything to get your mind off of your devices, anything to get your mind off of your stress. I am all for it. I leave you with two Bible verses. The first one really helped me out during some tough times. It says, "Do not be anxious about anything. Instead, pray about everything." For those that might not know what this means, is sometimes I'll be up late at night and I'm overthinking everything. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I'm overthinking my next meeting. I'm overthinking what's going on at work. I'm overthinking my startup. And all I do is I talk to myself and I pray and I pray and I pray. And next thing you know, I fall asleep. Like I don't even know when I fell asleep. And, if you haven't tried it, prayer works, guys. And the last scripture here is, "Fear not, for I am with you. Do not be troubled, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and I will help you." And I think this Bible verse is more about like trust. And you don't have to be religious or believe in anything, but I think the key takeaway for this verse is trust in yourself, trust in your ability to get something done. My faith is in God and Jesus Christ, and I know that my trust is in God, and I know that I will be okay. So if you believe in yourself and you trust in your abilities, and I know that I do believe in you, you'll be okay. And you're not alone. I know you've got a small village of people that support you in whatever you do. And I'm one of them now, so you're not alone. In conclusion, what have we learned? Well, we've now broke the stigma of mental health. We now understand what anxiety and burnout is. We now know tools for coping. We know that social media is a double-edged sword, and that should be taken with a grain of salt. And lastly, we have built resilience. Give yourselves a round of applause, guys. The last shameless plug, be sure to add me on LinkedIn. It's an honor and a pleasure. It is Mental Health Awareness Month, so get out there and be kind to one another. If you have any messages or any questions, feel free to send me a DM. Lauren, I don't know if there's a Q&A section, but it's an honor and a privilege to be here.
Hi, I'm and welcome back myself to the stage, but I definitely wanted to give you a huge shout out for that incredible presentation, Adrian. It was so eye-opening and very helpful and relevant for today's culture. Yeah, I definitely want to encourage people to put their questions in the chat if you haven't done so already. Definitely want to encourage everyone to do that. But we do have a question that came up from the conversation, which is from Angelica Pierce, has there been something that has successfully replaced doom scrolling?
Angelica, great question. I think intentional scrolling works. Like I just recently bought my first house, and I'm learning to build like an outdoor shed thing. So one thing that's kind of helped me with doom scrolling is watch longer videos that have more meaning behind them. That's kind of just helped me keep my focus on one topic versus just aimlessly just scrolling. And I learned new tools, new skills through watching like YouTube videos on like learning new skills. Great question.
And then I have a few more questions for yourself, more so like on the personal side, Adrian. How has your experience as a social media analyst at the California Department of Health Care Services informed your perspective on digital well-being?
Ooh. All right, folks, she put me on the spot. Lauren, great question. So thank God. So I work for the Department of Healthcare Services, which sounds very boring. But what we do is we promote, we promote services, and we promote mental health services, insurance stuff. But basically, it's helped me put things into context. Like it's almost like how do you say, an angel in disguise, like a blessing in disguise. Like when I'm at work, I'm creating content to promote mental health across California to all walks of life. And the job is kind of the blessing, really. Like sometimes I got a great manager. She says, "Hey, Adrian, like if you need some time, go for a walk." I know doing everything social media is crazy, so um, the job isn't as stressful as other jobs because it's centered around positivity, and that makes the job more fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's super interesting too, and that's good that you have such an experience in that um, role with that in the department. Um, let's see what else. I do have um, another question for you. What are some strategies for managing notifications and avoiding constant interruptions throughout the day?
Yeah, so I touched on it a little bit. Is turn off your notifications, just period, point blank. Just
Mhm.
turn them off. Like you're gonna get like I've got a bunch of notifications here already, um, but my phone's on silent. Like I'll check my phone when it's time to check my phone. Like it can wait. Like I don't think anything's gonna burn up or blow up if I don't send that message or email right now. So um, just I'm not recommending this, but I'm just saying, like, what helps me is just to turn off the notifications. You're gonna check your phone inevitably, and it just puts things into perspective, and you take control of your life. As simple as that. You turn off the notifications, you take control.
And I definitely wanted to shout out those verses that you shared with us. Those are some verses that I actually enjoy myself.
Amen.
And in terms of knowing that we're not within our own siloed experience, like life is not just within us, more from like a community and relationship perspective. Um, how can you how can we encourage healthier tech habits within our workplaces or relationships and community for others?
Well, Chanel was in the comments. She said, "Come on, scripture." And then Lauren, you just shared some positive, some positivity, some shared experience, some shared love with the scriptures. And I think that is a huge underutilized skill, is to spread love. Like I touched on how there's people that are spreading hate, and I'm a true advocate, like I'm a true believer that love conquers all. And I think one way to just kind of overcome the whole tech, overcome the social and work life is to be kind, is to be loving. And like if you're patient with your coworker, if you're patient with your teammate, it's going to make the job a lot more fun. It's going to make life a whole lot fun. And most importantly, it's going to be good for your mental health.
Yeah, that's such good advice. Super excited to have you tonight. We definitely appreciate your time. And thank you for joining us in this very important discussion around tech, your wellness. Um,
Right.
we hope you've all gained some practical strategies to navigate the digital world in a healthier way. Um, and now that this concludes our workshop, but we have another exciting workshop coming up next week for you in the same time and same place. So be sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Take care, Adrian, and thank you so much for your time here. Make sure to follow him as well.
God bless you. Thank you, Mentor Me Collective. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Give it a thumbs up.
Thank you. All right, everyone. So make sure you take care and prioritize your well-being, and make sure that you continue to follow us for more helpful workshop Wednesdays. See you later.